Good morning to all of you. Now, for some of you who are wondering as to why I'm wearing this headband, there are two reasons. One, of course, is that the session for today is exercise, and I think this goes well with that. That is one reason. But the more important reason is that I knew that you all would be allowed to turn off your cameras, and I would be asked to keep my camera on. And we all know that in the lockdown, we all need a haircut and we can have a bad hair day. So this is an insurance for my bad hair day. So these are the two reasons for the headband. Anyways, so let's get into this topic of exercise. Let me begin by giving you a scenario. Now assume that you are asked to live in a house like this, okay? Now these houses are obviously not in a very good shape. The waters around these houses are also surrounded by deadly crocodiles. And the pillars on which these houses are built are weak and they have cracks in them. Would any one of you like to live in a house like this? Can you type in your answers? I certainly won't. Yes, and I see a lot of people who would not like to live in a house like this. Even I won't. But knowingly or unknowingly, a lot of us actually live in houses like this that are fragile. This body of ours is the house we live in, and we have been living in this house throughout. We will continue to live in this life till the time we are on this planet. And the foundation, the pillars of this house of ours, the permanent home of ours, may not necessarily be strong. And what it does is it exposes us to a lot of these deadly crocodiles, that is, the deadly diseases like your cancer, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, etc. So what we need to do is we need to strengthen the foundation of our health, of our house. And how do we do that? We look at that in this presentation. These are the four pillars, foundations of our health or our house: nutrition, sleep, mind, and exercise. So interestingly, all these four pillars are interdependent. You will see during this presentation as to how mind is greatly affected by exercise and how exercise is greatly affected by nutrition and sleep. So our focus is going to be exercise, and we'll briefly touch upon the others as well. So what are the various types of exercises? There are three types of exercises. One is physical exercise. Second is mental exercise, that is, you exercise your mind. And the third is spiritual exercise. We look at all three. So to begin with, what is physical exercise? So physical exercise obviously entails physical activity. There has to be a physical activity. Now, just having physical activity is not exercise. It has got to be repetitive in nature. Now, for example, on 1st of Jan, I decide that I want to start walking every day. And I walk for 10 kilometers on first day itself. And I get so tired that I don't wake up next day for my walk. And it deflates my enthusiasm so much that I discontinue this walking and I don't walk at all for the rest of the year. Now, that certainly will not give me, any health benefits. But instead, if I start with like 15 minutes or 30 minutes of walk on day one, I will really look forward to that the next day and I'll be able to continue that. So the repetition part definitely will get honored. So that is what will actually give me the benefit of exercise. So that is real physical exercise, something which is repetitive and a physical activity. Now there are various kinds of exercises. There are three main kinds of exercises. The first one is cardiovascular exercise. This exercise is great for our body and mind. What cardiovascular exercise really means is that it increases our heart rate. So for example, if your heart rate is like 70 beats or 80 beats, if it increases by 50 to 70%, that means you're doing cardiovascular exercises. Now, what are various types of cardiovascular exercises? Swimming is one. Swimming is one of my favorites. This is a great cardio exercise. Then walking is another exercise. So hopefully when this lockdown is lifted, we will all be able to go back to our regular walks and exercise. Running is another form of cardio exercise. Dancing is a great way to do your cardio and have fun at the same time. So people who love to dance, I think it's so easy for them to get in some bit of exercise into their lives and having a lot of fun as well. Cycling is another of my favorites. So this is another great way to do cardio exercises. And there is sports. So people who love to play sport, they can also enjoy playing the sport. At the same time, they can also have the benefits of cardio exercises. There are a lot more. Would you like to type in some answers? Any other cardio exercises can you all think of? Treadmill, perfect. Yes, there is treadmill, there is Zumba, there is aerobics. So there are so many other forms of cardio exercises. Skipping, perfect. Yes. The next form of exercise is strength and resistance training. Now, this form of exercise is great for our muscles and our bones. What this involves is it involves lifting weights. Now, these could be external weights that you lift in a gym, or it could even be your own body weight. So you don't need any equipment. You can do it just at home by doing things like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, or lunges. Now this guy here is actually doing squats. Now you can do this even without the weights. So these are the exercises that you can do without lifting any weights as well. Another great form of strength and resistance training is using resistance bands. I use this quite often because the biggest plus of using this is that you can avoid injury. It is much safer than lifting weights. I used to have an injury and now I use a lot of resistance band to strengthen my muscles. Last but not the least is another very important form of exercise, which is flexibility exercises. Now, these exercises involve things like stretching, yoga, tai chi. So these are wonderful because, especially stretching, because it relaxes our muscles. So whenever we are beginning an exercise, we should always stretch. It is most important to stretch. Unless you stretch, you should not start your exercise. Similarly, stretching at the end is also equally important. So you need to stretch before and after exercise. Now, why should we really exercise? We know what is exercise and what are the various forms of exercise, but why should we really exercise? Can you guys type in some answers? Why would any one of you exercise? It has a lot of benefits. So if you can think of some benefits of why you would exercise, we'll cover a lot of benefits. Yeah, increased heart rate, to detox. Yeah, it makes you feel good. Yes. So these are all the ways to, to stay fit. Perfect. So we look at all the broad categories of benefits that we get. First and foremost is it benefits our body, our physique. Second is it benefits our mind. Now, a lot of us may not know, but our mind benefits greatly by doing physical exercises. Third is it is great for our emotional health. So we'll cover all these three topics one by one. To begin with, we'll start with the benefits for the body. Okay. Now, the best thing about physical exercise is that, it helps a lot of our critical organs. Now, heart is a critical organ. Now, heart is a muscle, right? So when we exercise, our heart gets bigger and stronger. So it is able to do its job very easily. The heart's job is to pump blood to all parts of the body. Because it is strong, it has to make that much less effort to pump the blood. And that brings down our resting heart rate and it lowers our BP. So this is a very, very big plus for our heart. Second amazing benefit is for the lungs. So our lungs, they also get stronger when we exercise. They are able to hold more air. Second benefit is, it helps our lungs. It strengthens our lungs greatly. So our lungs are able to hold a lot more air. And the positive thing is that, when you exercise, your lungs get stronger. And when your lungs get stronger, you can exercise even more. So it's a positive cycle. It's a great benefit. And this is especially wonderful for people who love to swim because we need to hold our breath when we are swimming. So you'll be able to go longer distance with your face underwater and you will be able to gain a lot of speed. So that's the second benefit of exercise. Now, again, like I said, a lot of people do not know, but exercise is the biggest beneficiary for exercise is our brain. It helps us keep a lot of diseases at bay. We'll see that little later in the presentation. Also, it helps us keep our brain really sharp. And obviously, exercise is for muscles. We all know that. So when we exercise, our muscles break down. And when we rest, the muscles repair and heal and they get stronger and bigger. So they not only protect our bones, they protect our spine and they protect our joints as well. it's a great benefit of having strong muscles. Exercise also strengthens our bones. So our bone mass increases, the density of our bones increases and our bones become stronger. So we are less prone to diseases like osteoporosis or even, injuries like fractures, etc. This is a great one. I love this one. So we are in the times of COVID and we all need good immunity. So we should all find time for exercise, whether we are able to go out or not. I do my Muay Thai sessions at home through video conferencing. So we should all find time for exercise. It is great for our immunity. So when we exercise, white blood cells in our body, who are like the army in our body that fight off all the invaders. The invaders are your viruses and bacteria. So as our white blood cells increase, they are able to go to different parts of our body and are able to defend us and save us from various illnesses. This lymphatic system is a part of our immune system. This is the battlefield actually where the war rages between the viruses and our white blood cells. Now, whatever is the unwanted debris or the injured soldiers in this war, they need to be moved away from our cells and our cells need to be cleaned. But how does it happen? Our lymphatic system does not have a pump. Our cardiovascular system has a heart. It has a pump to move away all the debris. But our lymphatic system does not have a pump. It has a liquid called lymph, which takes all the debris away. So what our body does is, our body is very smart. It uses all our muscles to move this lymph, and along with it, all the debris and the injured soldiers go away and they are sent to where they are supposed to go. So that is why they say movement is medicine. When you move, your muscles move, your body cleans up, your cells clean up, and your immunity becomes stronger. And do you all know that we have a muscle which is called as a second heart? It is part of the lymphatic system. It would be great if you all can guess it. And let me see if anybody can guess which muscle part in our body is called our second heart. A little later in the presentation, we'll do some exercises to see how we can exercise that muscle part. Oh, perfect. So many of you know it. Calf muscle is called our second heart. So we'll do a little bit of calf exercises little later in the presentation. Another big benefit of exercising is it enables smooth blood flow. Now, when our heart gets stronger, it is able to pump more blood, and this exercise enables our arteries to get cleaned up. Our arteries get clean, plaque doesn't develop, cholesterol doesn't form. So that is a great benefit. And once it reaches different parts of our body, our entire body gets nourishment. So that's a great plus of doing exercises. It obviously keeps all the illnesses at bay because our immune system is strong. Also, what it does is, because we are exercising, our heart is getting stronger, so we don't get any heart ailments. Blood reaches our kidneys, so our kidneys remain in good shape. It reaches the brain, so our brain obviously is healthy. It reaches our joints, so our knee joints, elbow joints, all the joints remain in good shape. So this is how, this good circulation of blood keeps all the illnesses at bay. It obviously reduces the risk of injury because our muscles are strong, our bones are strong, so there are less chances of any injuries to our bones. Also, it improves our posture, so we don't get any back issues. So that is why it is extremely important to keep exercising so that we can keep all these illnesses away from us as far as possible. And yes, the favorite for most of us is it helps reduce weight. I myself have lost about 15 kgs in 12 months by following not only the exercise regime but also diet. So one good thing is that when we all three forms of exercise, whether it is cardio, whether it is strength training, or whether it is flexibility, all three, a combination of three is needed for weight loss. But one very big plus of doing strength training is that even after you completed your exercise and you're reading or you're resting, if you say for example you're resting and reading a book, your body will still burn calories. So you'll still keep on losing weight even after your exercise. And yes, it keeps our skin and hair healthy because blood reaches our scalp. So our hair gets stronger, it gets thicker, we have less hair fall, and our skin starts to glow. So these are some of the benefits that our body has with exercise. Now here is a summary. I made a quick summary of which form of exercise benefits which part of our body or which organ. So if somebody is looking to strengthen the heart or lungs, then cardio is the best form of exercise. If somebody is trying to build muscles, then majorly it should be strength. It should be a combination in all cases, but majorly it should be strength. If somebody is looking for flexibility, balance, posture, then flexibility exercises like Tai Chi, yoga are great. So in case anyone of you wants to just click a picture of this, you can do that. I'll keep this slide on the screen for a few seconds. So this is a wonderful way of, targeting which area or which organ of your body you are trying to improve. Okay, so I'll move forward to the next section now, which is the benefit for the brain. We covered the benefits of physical exercise for our body. Now we'll cover the benefits of physical exercise for our mind. Now there are two key points I like to cover in this. One is the neurons. Now these neurons are extremely important in keeping our brain healthy and free of illness. We'll see how. When we exercise, the neurons in our brain, they increase and they help us in improving our logical thinking, in problem solving abilities. They also greatly improve our memory. They help us in decision making, they shape our personality, and they make our brain sharp. Second thing about exercise, the second big benefit for exercise is that our brains releases these chemicals which are called as happy chemicals, neurochemicals. So have you seen that, when you exercise, when you go out for a walk or you cycle or you swim, generally you would be in a good mood. You would feel good about yourself. You'll feel happy. So it's the chemicals that are doing the job. So chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, they bring about this happiness and good mood when you're exercising. There's another drug called as oxytocin. It makes you more, friendly, pally with others. You like to socialize. You like to meet people. It is called as a hug drug or the cuddle drug also. And surprisingly, exercise also helps us get relief from pain. This was a great surprise to me when I got to know of it. But there's a chemical called endorphin, which is a natural painkiller. So when you're exercising, it will help you lessen your pain also. There's one more thing that our neurochemicals do apart from giving us those benefits. So our neurochemicals help us get rid of insomnia, sleep disorders. They also help us get rid of depression. Have you ever seen a person who is exercising? Have you seen depression on his face? When you see a person exercising, they're always happy and chirpy and want to talk and want to do more things. It's a great way to overcome depression. Third thing is it helps us get rid of anxiety. So you won't know. I mean, whenever I have a talk or a presentation and I'm feeling a bit anxious, I spot jog a bit or I do some punching. So it releases those positive chemicals in me and I start feeling happy and excited rather than feeling anxious. Another thing is it helps us get rid of stress. This is another great plus because stress can cause a lot of other illnesses. Okay, now this is something I'd like to address and explain a little bit because see, there are two parts in our brain. One is just behind our forehead. It is called as the prefrontal cortex. We don't have to remember the names. And second part is here, which is called as the hippocampus. Now, these two parts of our brain are most susceptible to degeneration. They degenerate. And when they degenerate, they give us illnesses like Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, you see here in this picture where Alzheimer's disease, you see how the brain is degenerating. So, like I mentioned in one of my previous slides, when we exercise, the neurons in our mind increase, in our brain increase. So, we have more of these neurons in our brain and they make our brain stronger. So even if, there is a symptom of some disease, it takes that much longer for the disease to take effect because we are going on adding more neurons and making it more difficult for the disease to take hold of our brain. So it's an excellent plus for our brain. Okay, so we covered two aspects of physical exercise. One is the benefit for our body and we covered the benefit for our mind. Now there are a lot of emotional benefits also when we exercise. So you must have seen that, whenever you are feeling low on energy or angry and you go out for a walk, it helps you release all the negative energy or the emotions and you start feeling positive about it. These exercises will calm your mind down. You will feel much more relaxed and happier because you have let go of all the negative energy. And when we exercise, we stretch a lot. Like, we go beyond our comfort zone. So we get used to facing more challenges and difficulties in life and go beyond our comfort zone also. And it definitely tests our will. Like if you are doing some vigorous exercise, to do those 10 extra minutes of walking or 10 extra minutes of running or 10 extra minutes of push-ups, that will really test your willpower and it increases your willpower. And with all this, all the release of happy chemicals, it allows you to live happily. But how many of us exercise regularly? I would love to know the answer to this. How many of you exercise regularly? Okay, the first one is no, but yes, there are quite a few exercise regularly. Yes, that's great. So any form of exercise is good. Even walking is great. So I see a lot of people who exercise. That's wonderful. But there are a lot who don't exercise, and there was a time when I also didn't exercise, and I would make a lot of excuses. Now, we lot of times we let our excuses, overpower our will to exercise, and in the bargain, what happens is our health takes a beating. When you let excuse win over your will to exercise, your health will take a beating. This is something that we need to avoid. And what are the kind of excuses we make? We can be very creative. I'll ask you again to type in some excuses that you all have made. I'll share with you what excuses I have made in my life and how I have overcome. So we all have a bundle of excuses that we can make. So it would be interesting to know if I can, come up with some interesting excuses. Yeah, waking up early is difficult. Yeah, tomorrow, that's the great one. I love that one. Tomorrow is the best excuse. Yes. So these are some of the excuses that I used to make. I don't have time. Like it is very hot now, so it's too hot or there's too much rain. It's not too cold in India somehow, but in other parts of the world, it can be it can get very cold also. Then I have a physical ailment, like I have a slight cold. I don't want to go out today. I have some pain. I don't want to go out today. But with pain, like I said, if that pain is you're not exercising that part of the body that has pain, then it's all right. It can work as a pain relief also. The gym is too far, but the best one is I will start tomorrow, or I'll start next month, or I'll start on my birthday, or I'll start next year. This takes this is sort of the biggest excuse that we all make. But we all know that tomorrow never comes. The exercise is, if you decide to do something, it has to start today and now. The day you say that I will exercise tomorrow, 9 out of 10 times it will not happen. So don't get fooled by using this excuse. Do whatever little bit, but start today. Now let us look at a video of this guy, a short video of this guy who actually suffered serious life-threatening injuries, and how he overcame all the trauma and the stigma and the excuses he used to make to reach his goals. So what was your biggest takeaway from this? Yeah, it is a very nice video. I really love this video. The biggest takeaway for me, yes, you need to have a strong why. That's perfect, Nitya. So we'll cover that in a little bit. Now, how many of you are ready for some bit of exercise? A session on exercise cannot go without little bit of stretching or spot jogging. Great. So just follow this video and try and do whatever you can. It's just like few seconds. So I'll start the video. First is you will get a chance to punch away all your excuses. So punch away your excuses of no time, it's too cold, tomorrow, and get rid of these excuses. And then follow it up with little bit of spot jogging. Okay, so are you ready? So you can follow this video, please. So I'm not sure how many of you could do it, but yeah, it was just a small bit of exercise to get our heart rate up. But there's one more thing we'll do, one more exercise we'll do, which is for our second heart. And this is something that you can do. In fact, I would suggest that you can go through some videos and do some research on Google. There are a lot of exercises that you can do to improve your working of your lymphatic system or your immune system. So this is another exercise that you can do. Sorry. So this is another exercise that you can do for your calves. Now you see how the calf muscles, they contract and expand. You can go on your toes and then go on your heels. So this is a great one for our calves. What it does is, this calf muscle, it can push the lymph up along with all the debris to where it is supposed to be. So it's a very simple exercise and a good exercise to do. There are so many more which You all can go through and do some, research online and find out about these exercises. Okay, now this is one of my favorites. Now tell me, why do you think this guy is brushing? Why is this guy brushing? We all brush every day, maybe once or twice or even thrice, some of us do. But why is he brushing? Yeah, it's habit, it's oral good health, yeah, to get rid of bacteria, yeah, to remove stains. Yeah, so I think yes, a couple of you got the answer right. See, in my view, he's not brushing because he knows the benefits that, it will keep his bones healthy, sorry, his teeth healthy, or it will keep his gums healthy. He's not brushing for that. Because if that were the case, we would have all exercised because we know the benefits of exercise. The ones who got it right, really kudos to them. He is brushing because it is a habit. He has a habit of exercising. Now imagine we have formed a habit of doing something with just benefits like our teeth or gums and just two or three benefits. But we have not found time to create a habit that benefits all the critical organs of our body like heart, like lungs, brain, bones, muscles, and our overall body. Isn't it ironical? Like, I would like you all to ponder over this point next time you pick up a brush, to think that you are doing something just for benefit. It's not that I'm not undermining the benefits of brushing, but it's just to put the point across that, it's so ironical that we do something which benefits just two or three parts of our body, but we ignore all the other parts of our body. So I would like you all to incorporate this habit of exercise. Give this gift to yourself this year. And just the way you brush every day, find time to exercise every day. I think your health will transform. And for our children also, we tell them all the time about maintaining hygiene, about reading, about eating good diet. So all of these are good habits we give them, but we fail to give them the habit of exercise. If they get into the mode of exercise, and it's so easy for children to exercise, so if they can exercise from a younger age, they will grow up healthier, they'll grow up stronger, and they'll be protected from all these deadly crocodiles, that is the deadly diseases, all their life. And I think your kids will thank you for what you have done for them and the habit that you have inculcated in them today, which will help them all their life. Same was the case with me. I also had a lot of excuses, but when I made it a habit of starting small and then increasing the intensity gradually, I overcame so many things. I started with 1 or 2 hours of workout. Now I can work out 8 to 10 hours a week. I lost 15 kgs, like I said, and I feel so energetic. I'm in my 40s, but I feel like I'm in my 20s. So I do Muay Thai with so many younger guys also. I feel so much energy, working out with them. As the saying goes, if you do not find time for exercise today, be prepared to find time for hospitals and medicines later. The choice is ours. If we really want to stay healthy and not see the face of hospital or illness, we have to find time for exercising today. So how many of you are ready to give it one more try? So let us look at how do you plan your exercise, okay? First and foremost, you need to set a goal. Now, a goal can be as small as walking for 15 minutes a day, or it could even be, running the half marathon or running the full marathon or having a six pack. Have your goal in place first. We'll be very clear about your goal. And then second is, like we saw in the video, you need to write down your why. Now that why it could be anything, like, that you don't want to be dependent on anyone all your life. You want to travel the world, or you want to dress in your wedding dress that you wore a few years back. You want to fit into that wedding dress. So it could be anything which will motivate you to achieve your goal. That's the second most important part. Third, and another very important part, is fix a time of the day that you want to exercise. Now, just the way, some of us pray, some of us meditate, and we find time for that. Some of us have breakfast at a particular time or food at a particular time. So we definitely find time for that. And unless it is critical, we don't change that. You have to give the same respect to the habit of exercising. You have to find time and fix a time for exercising, and don't compromise that time for anything else. And you have to start small. Don't walk 10 kilometers on first day and then don't walk at all. Walk for 15 minutes. You will enjoy it, and then next day you will feel like again going. And only once that becomes a part of your system, walking for 15 minutes is a habit, then you increase it to 20 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on how you feel about it. Only then you add more time to it. Then find a buddy. Somebody said that, one of you said that, you always find it easier to exercise when you have a buddy with you. So that's another great way to motivate yourself. But find someone who's regular. Don't find someone who demotivates you. You have to find someone who's regularly been exercising. And don't forget to reward yourself, because it's not easy. It's not easy to start exercising. Whenever you achieve your target of walking for 15 minutes or whatever the target is, you definitely reward yourself with whatever you love to do. How much of exercise is enough? As per research, about 30 minutes a day for about 5 days a week is enough for you to stay healthy. But obviously, you can set more ambitious targets if you wish to, and you can start smaller than this also. It's okay. But you need to reach this level to have an optimal health. Now, here are some tips to get started. So whenever you start to exercise, I would suggest that, the previous day you keep your walking apparel, your shoes, your t-shirt, your track pants ready, so that in the morning you don't have to look for it. You just wear it and then you go for your walk or your exercise. Second thing is, whether you're in a mood or not, just put on your shoes, because your shoes will take you for a walk. The moment you put on your shoes, you will feel like going for a walk. So you'll not, feel lethargic. Listen to music or listen to something else. Listen to podcasts. So listen to, some series of podcasts. So you will look forward to listening to the next one, and in the bargain, you will also exercise. Find a buddy. Announce on social media, because that puts some pressure on us that, yeah, we need to, now that we have announced, everybody is looking at us, that we would be doing something about our health. So you will be more motivated. Involve your family. You will look forward to going with your family, and I think that will help you, overcoming your excuses. And a lot of us, once this lockdown ends, a lot of us will be spending time in office, and a lot of us will be busy with our housework. So let us see what all things you can do, these small things you can do, because like we all know now that movement is medicine. We cannot remain stagnant. A sedentary lifestyle is the most dangerous thing to have. So let us see what we can do when we are in office. So try and stretch. There are a few stretching exercises that you can do while you are at your desk taking a 2-minute break. Take steps and don't use the elevator. Even if you're on a higher floor, you climb for maybe 2 levels or 3 levels and then take the elevator, and you can gradually keep on increasing, the number of levels. Get up every 1 hour and stretch. We do this all the time in Sharan. So in Sharan, there's an alarm that goes off every 1 hour, and we all get up, we stretch, we talk a bit, and then we go back to our work. You can do eye exercises. You can do the circular or 360-degree rotation of your eye, anti-clockwise and clockwise. So it's a great exercise for the eye. When you are on the phone, instead of sitting and talking, you can walk and talk on the phone. Keep a water bottle at a distance. That doesn't mean you will drink less water. You have to drink water, but encourage yourself to get up and go and drink water from the bottle and then come back and sit at your desk. Park a car a little further away so that you get that extra, time to walk. You can use small equipments in your office, like a water bottle, to do some wrist exercises or any other exercises. So you can be a little innovative with that. And you can do walking meetings also. We see one of the TV compares, I think Shekhar Gupta, who does a lot of walking meetings with various celebrities and politicians. Here are a few things that you can do at home. There would be some repetitions, but something which you can do at office, you can do at home also. You can do spot jogging like we did today in the exercise. You can do online training courses. Like I do my Muay Thai online nowadays. You can do any sort of online exercises. Again, you can take the steps instead of elevator. Get up every hour. Walk while on phone. Keep water bottle at a distance. Use any objects at home also for exercise. Dancing. If you can dance in the office, even that's great. But most of us can't. So you can dance at home. If you're at home, that's a great exercise. Go walking with your family members. Answer the doorbell often, and do housework. Even we also do a lot of housework. helping our family with all the chores. Here are a few tips for people who are already into exercise and not really looking to start exercising now. So I think change is something which definitely can help people who are into exercise. So you can keep on varying your intensity of exercise. So if you have been exercising or lifting certain weight for a certain period of time, then you can increase the intensity. If you have been jogging at a particular pace, then you increase the speed a little bit for a while and then come down. So keep on varying the intensity. You can try out a new exercise type. Like if you are somebody who's been always lifting weights, then try out yoga for flexibility. Try out Pilates for strengthening your core. Try martial art because that needs a lot of flexibility. So you will be able to develop different parts of your body and benefit different organs if you are changing your exercise types. Or you take up a new challenge. If you think you have done all, you take up a challenge like go for the Ironman competition or go for some trekking or those kind of things. Here are some exercise essentials that we need to keep in mind, when we exercise. First and foremost, like I mentioned earlier, stretching is the key. You have to stretch before and after a workout. There is no compromising here. Ensure good sleep because when we sleep, only then our muscles recover. And once our muscles recover, only then we can exercise. Nutrition, we'll talk about it a little later in the presentation. And I would say that never ignore pain. If you have pain, that means you are doing something wrong. You need to change your style of exercising or you need to consult somebody before continuing your exercise. You should never get pain when you're exercising. Last but not the least, don't forget to have fun. That is the objective, fun with health. And if you are able to do all this, your will to exercise will be able to overpower your excuses and you will gain back your health. Now, here are some interesting facts. Again, research shows that how when we exercise our body, our mind benefits. So with cardio exercises, you will see that your ability to sustain for a longer period of time or your willpower will increase. With your strength training and resistance exercises, you will see that you will be more confident in taking tough decisions because you feel tough from outside. You feel tough physically, then you are able to take tougher decisions in life also. Stretching, it improves our flexibility and creativity. So this is some wonderful connect between how we exercise our body and how it impacts our thought process and mind. uh, so if we don't exercise regularly and we have a sedentary lifestyle, I think that is worse than smoking also. We all heard that. And what it does is it shrinks our organs, like it shrinks our heart, it shrinks our lungs, it shrinks our brain. Like we saw, those neurons, those neurons will not get built if you have a sedentary lifestyle. Your lungs will not get stronger, your heart will not get stronger if you're not exercising. So I shared with you some conversation I was having with one of our colleagues, Captain Joseph Pinto. He used to be an Indian Air Force pilot and he's flown a lot of planes. So he was telling me about this lockdown and how all these planes are now grounded and are parked at various airports. There's a huge maintenance cost these airline companies are incurring just to keep them in airworthy condition. And all the electronic parts or engines are starting to deteriorate. Now, these aeroplanes are highly complex machines, but humans are even more complex than these machines. So, when we don't use our organs, they also start to deteriorate. So, we do not let that happen. We cannot let that happen. So, we cannot, have a sedentary lifestyle at all. You have to do some sort of movement all the time. Great. So we have covered all the physical benefits of exercise, the way physical exercise, how physical exercise helps our body, mind, and emotions. Now we look at mental exercises. We won't take very long in the next two sections. So there are a few things that you can do, like, you can exercise your brain by doing riddles, by doing quizzes, crosswords. And if you do things like dumb charades, you start to think more creatively. It develops that aspect of your thinking. If you take new classes, your memory power increases. If you're learning foreign language, you have to remember things, so your memory power increases. So it's a great mental exercise or workout for your mind. Read new books. Writing, again, it involves a lot of creativity. Meditate will calm your mind down and strengthen your mind. So these are some mental exercises that you can do apart from physical exercises. Spiritual exercises, this is something the importance of which is always underestimated, but this is one of the most exercises that we all can do. First and foremost is compassion. It will really open up your heart. Your heart will fill with joy and it will nourish your soul when you are being compassionate to every living being, whether it is human or whether it is animal. And it is also great for our health. It helps us reduce our blood pressure, our heart rate comes down. So don't underestimate the importance of these spiritual exercises. Second, of course, is laughter. I mean, this is something we all really underestimate, and we should exercise laughter every day. It is great for our health. As kids, we used to laugh like hundreds of times in a day. But as we grow up, we all become so serious. We start taking ourselves, our life so seriously. This is something that we should definitely not do. And we should try and laugh as much as possible. Do whatever you like. There are laughter clubs, there are, yoga, laughing yoga classes, there are these comedy movies. You have time for it. Do watch those so that you can, give more oxygen to your body. When you laugh, your body gets more oxygen. Finally, we come to the connecting link between how you are and how you want to be. Exercise is one part that will take you there, but nutrition is another part. So we cannot ignore nutrition. You would have heard a lot from so many of Sharan's speakers about nutrition. I'll just briefly touch upon few things. So if you want to reach from point A to point B, you cannot reach there unless you exercise. Unless you take care of your nutrition. What I do is I follow these 2 or 3 principles. I start my day with a green smoothie and I make my smoothie so delicious that I don't feel like missing it. And how it has helped me is it has helped me overcome my addictions. So I used to be a heavy tea and coffee drinker, but once I started consuming smoothie, within a week I overcame my addictions of drinking tea and coffee. It also helped me overcome a lot of my cravings. So I used to like a lot of sweets. So because my smoothie is so good and so tasty, my craving for sweets has also gone down. Second thing that you should incorporate is to have salad every day. Make a rainbow salad and have it every day. What it would do is it would knock out junk from your life. Because salad has so much fiber, you will always be full and you will get all the nutrition. You will not feel like eating junk. So I would say that my junk has not been totally eliminated, but it is down by 90%. Once in a while I indulge in something, but other than that, no. So that has helped me greatly in improving my health. Thirdly, this is something that all our Sharan team members keep on talking about, is that we need to get rid of animal products. They are not healthy for us. Even for people who exercise, they are not healthy. We'll see that in a bit. Once you get rid of animal products, it will knock off all the diseases from your body. So that's another great advantage. And if you follow the Sharan 5-point plan, which is have plant-based, have whole food, make it organic as long as possible, and do check your vitamin D and B12. This is something that anybody, whether it's a person who consumes non-veg or vegetarian or plant-based, everybody needs to check this. You need to always check your vitamin B and D12. We are deficient, and if you do that, there'll be no stopping you. You will reach your goal for sure. Here are some diet tips very quickly on what you should have pre and post workout. So what I do, I share with you. You should have a lot of fluid, because when you exercise, you sweat a lot. So you need to stay hydrated. So have a lot of fluid. Reduce your intake of fat and fiber before a workout. So I normally consume beetroot juice without the fiber, because when you eat fibrous food, then your body obviously it spends a lot of energy in digesting that food. So when you're exercising, just pre-workout, you can remove the fiber, but otherwise it's great to have fiber. You should never take fiber out from any of the foods. You should obviously, have a lot of carbohydrates to maintain your glucose level, and have protein in moderation. So these are a few things I have. Like I have beetroot, like I said, there's sweet potato, bananas, there's even dates, laddus, or you can have dates and nuts otherwise also. Post workout, what you should do, hydration again is an important part, because you will still keep on burning calories. So you need to, stay hydrated even after a workout. Have some carbohydrates for muscle recovery, and to build your muscle, have some protein. So these are some protein options. Now, these are few people, a lot of us think that when I also started, when I also turned plant-based, initially I would think that, where will I get my nutrients from? But look at these people, Serena Williams. All are world number one in their respective fields. Serena Williams, world number one tennis player. Messi, world number one football player. Djokovic, world number one tennis player. Our own cricket captain, Virat Kohli. Our Indian football team captain, Chetri. They are all plant based. And they have access to all the top nutritionists, doctors, dietitians, and they are advising them to be this, and they are seeing the benefits. So there is no problem in going plant based. It will definitely help your health. And look at these people. The strongest man in the world, Patrick Bobomian, he's a vegan. He's a plant-based athlete. Lilani is another, car race driver. She's a vegan. She's also plant-based. And the world's bodybuilding champion. You can follow him on Instagram. He gives a lot of tips on what you can have in case you are looking to build your muscle. Niami Delgado is his name. So, like we saw in this presentation, it is extremely important to strengthen our 4 pillars of health so that we can get a house of our dreams, which is free of all the crocodiles, which is free of all the illnesses. And I would just like to end by saying that the ball is in your court. Go for it and get a house of your dreams. Thank you. And I'm open to questions now.